Racing pigeons, often referred to as the thoroughbreds of the sky, require meticulous training and care to excel in races. This comprehensive guide will take you through the essential steps to train your young racing pigeons, from their initial loft flights to their performance on race day. Number 1. Introduction to pigeon racing. Pigeon racing is a competitive sport that has been around for centuries. The birds are trained to fly back to their home lofts over varying distances, sometimes spanning hundreds of miles. Success in pigeon racing depends heavily on the health, training, and management of the birds. Number 2. Selecting the right birds. The foundation of a successful racing pigeon loft starts with selecting the right birds. Key factors include breeding. Choose birds from proven racing bloodlines. Pedigree is crucial as it gives an insight into the potential of the young birds. Health. Only healthy birds should be considered. Ensure they are free from diseases and parasites. Conformation. Look for pigeons with good body conformation, strong muscles, and excellent feather quality. Number 3. The loft environment. A proper loft is crucial for the health and training of racing pigeons. Consider the following. Ventilation. A well-ventilated loft prevents respiratory issues. Cleanliness. Regular cleaning and disinfection prevent diseases. Space. Adequate space allows the birds to exercise and reduces stress. Perches and nest boxes. Provide enough perches and nest boxes to avoid overcrowding. Number 4. Initial loft training. Young pigeons, known as squeakers, need to become familiar with their home loft before they can start training. Loft flying. Allow the young birds to fly freely around the loft. This helps them get used to their surroundings and build their flying muscles. Trapping. Train the birds to trap. Enter the loft through the entrance using food as a reward. This ensures they return quickly during training and races. Settling. Gradually introduce the birds to the outside world by releasing them in the loft vicinity. This helps them learn to recognize their home from the air. Number 5. Training regimen. Developing a structured training regimen is essential for preparing your pigeons for races. Short tosses. Start with short training tosses, 1 to 5 miles, to get the birds accustomed to returning home. Increase the distance gradually. Frequency. Train regularly but avoid overtraining. Allow rest days to prevent fatigue. Direction. Vary the release points to train the birds to navigate from different directions. Time of day. Train at different times to accustom the birds to various flying conditions. Number 6. Feeding and nutrition. Proper nutrition is vital for the performance and health of racing pigeons. Balanced diet. Provide a balanced diet with a mix of grains, seeds, and legumes. Supplement with vitamins and minerals. Feeding schedule. Feed the birds twice a day, ensuring they receive enough food without becoming overweight. Hydration. Always provide clean, fresh water. Add electrolytes during hot weather or after long training sessions. Number 7. Health management. Maintaining the health of your racing pigeons is paramount. Regular checkups. Monitor the birds for signs of illness. Regular vet checkups can prevent serious health issues. Vaccinations. Ensure the birds are vaccinated against common pigeon diseases like paramyxovirus and pigeon pox. Parasite control. Use treatments to control internal and external parasites. Number 8. Mental conditioning. Racing pigeons need mental as well as physical training. Handling. Handle the birds regularly to build trust and reduce stress during races. Environmental exposure. Expose the pigeons to different environments, sounds, and weather conditions to reduce flight anxiety. Competitiveness. Some fanciers use widowhood or natural racing systems to motivate pigeons by creating a strong desire to return to their mate or nest. Number 9. Race preparation. As race day approaches, specific preparations are needed. Final tosses. Conduct longer training tosses, 50 to 100 miles, to ensure the birds are in peak condition. Rest and recovery. Allow adequate rest before the race. Avoid any strenuous activity 48 hours before the event. Diet. Provide a high-energy diet in the days leading up to the race. Increase the amount of fats and carbohydrates. Number 10. Race day. On race day, meticulous preparation is key to success. Early morning release. Most races start early in the morning. Ensure the birds are well rested and fed before basketing. Transport. Handle the pigeons gently during transport to the release point. Stress can negatively impact their performance. Tracking. Use modern tracking systems like RFID tags or GPS trackers to monitor your bird's performance and make data-driven improvements. Number 11. Post-race care. After the race, your pigeons need proper care to recover. Rehydration. Provide electrolytes in the water to help the birds rehydrate. Rest. Allow the pigeons to rest for a few days post-race. Health check. Monitor for any signs of fatigue or illness. Address any issues promptly. Left the nest, they should be placed in their own compartment where they can learn social behavior with their fellow flock mates. Soon, their training will begin, which will include teaching them to return to the trap or entrance of the loft, come to your call, fly around the loft, learn where to perch, and where not to, such as on your neighbor's house, and eventually road training. When you feed your birds, it's important to use a consistent whistle or call that your birds can associate with being fed. It's best to choose a method that other members of your family can also use. Doing this every day, all year round, with all of your birds will pay off on race day and will also help you to bring down any birds that become spooked or fly away. Once your young birds are active and able to perch higher up in the loft, it's time to introduce them to the outside world. However, it's important not to let them out on a full stomach and to make sure they are supervised, as hawks may see them as easy prey and cause a major setback. Additionally, if you wait too long to let them out for the first time, they may be too strong on the wing and may fly away before they can properly control themselves, which is a common cause of flyaways. The best way to introduce them to the outside world is to create a Sputnik cage on top of the landing board. This allows you to place them on the landing board and have them maneuver through your trapping system. It also allows you to let them out a little earlier while protecting them from predators like hawks. After a few days of learning the trapping system, you can let them out on their own. Once your young birds are comfortable in the loft and taking higher perches, it's time to start roof training. You can let them out on the roof without the Sputnik cage, as long as they aren't too strong on the wing. They will explore their new surroundings and peck at everything like curious toddlers. Make sure they are not let out on a full stomach. After a designated time, call them in for dinner. Don't put the full amount of feed in the feeder, as some birds may not come in and the first ones to the feeder may eat too much. The important thing is to get them trained to come in when called, so they can be disciplined to come in when needed for morning or evening training tosses, or quickly upon arrival from a race. Keeping a consistent routine is important for training. If you deviate from their routine, they will let you know. They will come find you if you miss a feeding time. When they're properly fed, they will try to get into the trap and get inside to eat. Some may be confused and walk to the edge of the roof where the walk-in door is located. Be patient, they will learn. You may have one or two stay out overnight, but after a few days, all young birds will know how to get inside the loft and trap. In this training section, the focus is on roof training for young pigeons. Before letting them out, it is important to ensure they are not too full and to supervise them to prevent hawk attacks. A Sputnik cage can be used to introduce them to the outside world earlier and protect them from predators. Once they are used to the trapping system, they can be let out on their own. When the pigeons are out on the roof, it is important to keep them on a regular feeding schedule to train them to come in when called. This is important for race day and for training. Pigeons are creatures of habit, so consistency is key. Sometimes young pigeons may get spooked and go airborne due to a sudden noise or the presence of an unfamiliar bird. It is important to be patient and wait for them to settle down and come back to the roof. Occasionally, a young bird may stay out overnight. In the city, this is usually not a problem, but in the country, it can be dangerous as owls prey on pigeons. To prevent this, playing music at a low volume can help mask the sound of the pigeon and make it harder for the owl to locate it. The training crate. Now that your birds are loft flying and routing, it's time to start thinking about basket training them. This can be a stressful time for both you and the birds, especially if you have a young bird race schedule coming up. While many training guides skip over this step, it's important to introduce your birds to the training crate before you start training them. To do this, place your birds in the training crates and leave them alone for an hour or more. This will give them time to get used to the cramped quarters and unfamiliar surroundings. Keep in mind that the birds may fight if they feel another bird is too close to them, so it's important to give them enough space to settle down. By introducing your birds to the training crate early on, you'll help them get familiar with this new environment before you start training them. This can make the whole training process less stressful for both you and your birds. Road training is an important step in conditioning and preparing racing pigeons for competition. The first goal of road training is to teach the birds about their surrounding area. It's recommended to start road training in the direction that you plan to race from. The second goal is to condition the birds gradually, building up their strength and endurance over time. To start, release the birds approximately 1 mile from the loft. Finding a good release site can be difficult, but it's important to find a location that is free of obstacles like wires, trees, buildings, and fences. A large parking lot, such as a shopping mall, can be a great release site if there are no people or cars around. Give the birds at least 3 tosses from this location, ensuring that they are heading straight back home. It's important not to release them after they have eaten, as food is the only motivator for them to return home at this point. After they have made at least 3 successful tosses from this distance, gradually increase the distance to 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles, and 40 miles. Do not jump to the next distance until the birds have made at least 3 successful tosses at each training location. This gradual increase in distance is known as the confidence method, as it builds the birds' confidence while also conditioning them for longer distances. Once the birds are training well at 40 or 50 miles, they are ready for the 100-mile races. Road training is an essential step in preparing racing pigeons for competition, and should be approached with care and attention to detail. There are many reasons to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use. It's affordable. I have had over 400 first prize winners. It's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products. It's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well, or an athlete will not win a race. If he has low oxygen in his blood, the above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing. To get my main racing system, just email me direct. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye-sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeons' drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with.